Hey everyone, welcome to our channel dedicated to Microsoft Fabric. And this is a series dedicated to data engineering, data science, data integration, and doing everything within Fabric with data coming from Delta Lake format. Today we have a special guest, Daniel. Daniel, thanks for joining us for, I think that the fourth time that you are joining the Espresso series.
Yes, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, that's great to have you here, especially that we have lots of announcements related to different types of catalogs, tables, data formats. Lots of things are happening from different sources, internal and external. I would love to start the discussion with you by asking the first question: what has changed recently on our side, and what do you focus right now on?
It's a lot of work, I would tell you that. So my main charter right now is to take care of Delta Lake across all Microsoft Fabric. So Delta Lake, as we have discussed at least on 3 episodes in the past, it is the unifying table format for Microsoft Fabric. So that means that across all the workloads, across all the experiences, you have a Delta table that's probably written once by any of the engines and being able to be read by all the other engines. So that's how we deliver the one copy promise of Microsoft Fabric. You have one Delta table in one lake, and all the engines and all workloads experiences are driven from the same Delta table.
So what I hear is that we have so many different engines.
Yes.
There is a different implementation for each of them. Each of them can write to a lake house. In the heart of the lake house, there is a Delta Lake format, Delta Lake table. So I can use any engine to save the data, and I can use any engine to read the data. Is that correct?
At any combination that you want.
Amazing. That sounds challenging, knowing that those engines are super different. We had an episode about comparing Lakehouse versus data warehouse, not only from the perspective of the storage, but from the querying engine perspective. So could you summarize what are the main patterns that you face, which our customers are following when working with Fabric, when working with Delta Lake tables?
Of course. So when we look at Delta in a Microsoft Fabric context, we have 3 main patterns. One is an ingest from any source using the Microsoft Fabric engines. Also, a very strong pattern that a lot of customers use is just integrate into whatever they have. Don't move data if they don't need to. And of course, when you have data warehouse and operational stores to Power BI analytics, that's where we want to be, right? We want to just attach to data warehouse and start reporting right away. So those are the 3 main patterns that we have. On the first part, if you're already using Microsoft technology to ingest on Fabric or not, especially like as data flows, data pipelines, the Lakehouse load to tables capabilities, and the mirroring, everything is already landing as the Delta Lake format. So just after you ingest, it's already ready to go. You can start using all the other engines to query your tables, to change your data, and to start building reports right away. If you're just integrating with external resources, the primary way you integrate is just using shortcuts. Imagine you already have Delta Lake tables available elsewhere. Just shortcut them into the Lakehouse. Any medallion layer fits, of course, and then you start building your reports right away. If the table is not Delta, you can also use our experiences to convert it to Delta in place, or to use a data copy operation using Spark or data pipeline, so something like that, to convert your Delta to Delta tables. And finally, Data Warehouse is already generating Delta tables for you. Just mount them into the Lakehouse, and then you start leveraging the direct lake technology right away. Uses the view-ordering technology to achieve like a spectacular performance. And finally, like once it's all there, You already have your Delta tables, coming from any source or integrating towards from any source. You can also just apply transformations using Spark data pipelines, and then you start leveraging using SQL Analytics endpoint notebooks. Everything is ready for you to consume using any other engine. And some people ask, okay, but which engine should I use? Use the engine that you're most skilled with. Maybe you're very proficient with T-SQL, or you're very proficient with Power BI. Just leverage that technology, leverage your knowledge, and just attach to the Delta table and start rocking away.
It sounds that all of the engines that are integrated, first-class citizen on Microsoft Fabric, are contributing to a data platform system when a customer can just choose whatever they want. From pipelines, and in Data Factory, there are different ways of processing the data, like data flows, including to data engineering, then data science, then data warehouse, then real-time analytics that has been announced a few weeks ago. Very strong and always popular DW. And of course, the heart, which is Power BI. What are the principles that you are following when introducing and working on the heart of the lake house, so Delta, and what are the challenges? That slide I was looking into.
Okay. So the main principles, the main work that we do is that we focus on making every engine under Fabric, what we call Fabric native engines, are Delta enabled, right? So the strongest principle we go by every day on everything that we do is that if one compute engine or workload writes a Delta table, every other engine or workload needs to be able to read it. And that's already gives us a matrix of and a group of challenges we need to go by. And we are very transparent in terms of what's working, what's not working, the Delta Lake features that are available, and we go for max compatibility. We also, we align, that's our strongest second principle, is that we align to the Delta Lake open source protocol specification. We contribute back directly, and we have many contributions made back to the Delta Lake library, just like we do for Apache Spark and Apache Parquet and other projects out there. As of today, and that's my main challenge on my work on a daily basis, is that today we have 12 engines inside Microsoft Fabric that we're pushing to be 100% compliant and Fabric native Delta. That means that there's a huge committee that we drive. We have weekly meetings, we have semester plans, we have goals, very strict goals on making sure that every engine is protocol compliant, all the Delta types behave, everyone can read, everyone can write, and then we move the bar as a whole as features land. We also need to go beyond because the reference Delta Lake implementation out there is pretty much Scala and Java, right? There is a newer Delta Rust library, but still not production grade state. So all we have is Scala and Java, and our engines are not built only in Scala and Java. Spark is, but most of our engines are either C++ or C#. So we go beyond, and we have also internal implementations. So we need to catch up quickly, bring all the features to the C++ and C# implementations, and move the needle as a group.
How do you track it? Is there anything as a customer, as a user of Fabric, I should read, take a look?
Yes. So the way people should track and also provide feedback and get in touch with us if we're dropping the ball or if we're late. But the way to keep track is, and even before I go there, it's important for people to grasp that the Delta library version doesn't mean much, right? The capabilities of the Delta table are driven by properties that are within the table itself. There are two main parameters there that are the min reader version and min writer version that control the capabilities of the features that are to be used in that Delta table. The point being is that do not over-index on the library version. Focus on what the table version is and what features are enabled on that table. Okay, but how do we keep track, right? So how do I know what I can enable on a table or not, and if that thing is going to work or not in Fabric? The way you do that is that we, as I mentioned before, we're very transparent in our documentation. So we have a Fabric Delta Interop documentation that we keep updated at every milestone that pretty much tracks all the engines that we have, all the workloads, and all the Delta table features, and the min table reader version and the min table writer version that's enabled by default on each engine. So if you want to know, oh, okay, can I use deletion vectors or can I use column mappings? Do I support liquid clustering or not? You should go and check that documentation out. If something is missing, feedback button, let us know, and we're going to come clean on that information.
Daniel, that's huge, big, and challenging. I'm super happy that we are pushing that and driving forward in a way that customers are getting a predictable, smooth experience across engines. Can you share from your side what's the future that you are looking and then building for Delta Lake as a heart of Lakehouse?
Yeah, under the principle that we always focus on max compatibility, right? It's one engine writes, all the others need to be able to read. So that's our driving principle every day. With that, we need to bring new Delta features in, right? Delta, as of June 2024, when we're recording this, Delta 4 is about to be released. There's a lot of movement in the community on table catalogs and newer features for Delta. So I'm going to give you some examples of things we're working on already. We have like deeper technical ones, such as we're standardizing encoding of data types, and we're optimizing the row groups, which are kind of key fundamental pieces for performance. We're also standardizing in checkpoint v2, which is a specific protocol implementation. So those things are kind of happen on the back end. Things that you shouldn't be thinking about, we think about, because we need to align across multiple engines. We're also aligning on the newer capabilities of Delta 3.2 and 4.0, how we're going to incorporate, and most importantly, how we're going to move the bar on all engines to accept those new features in. Also, we have like big customer-facing ones that we're going to be shipping over the next semester, which, for example, is we're going to enable column mappings. Some people would call it pretty column names across all the Fabric experiences, right? So those are kind of some of the key things that are coming forth. Part of my job is to make it is smooth, right? So for customers to understand that in Fabric, all the Delta experiences are aligned, and whatever feature we're going to bring is going to be brought in with max compatibility and no disruption, right, in a safe way. I think that's the most important message here.
You said the column mapping is coming, also deletion vectors as well. So pretty fancy features for Delta Lake are coming, meaning that they are as of now, because we ship the library, but customer has to configure min reader, min writer version. But what's coming is that we'll enable that by default, not only for Apache Spark, and not only for
DW, for example, right?
Yes,
it's all about moving the bar. Yeah, it's about moving the bar as a group, right? And really making that feature not on an engine per engine basis, but as a unified experience across Fabric.
Yeah, makes sense. As now they can, like customers can use it, but in just a few selective engines. So yeah, that sounds challenging. At the same time, I know that customers are waiting for it. So thanks for pushing that. Good. For all who are watching us, please remember to leave the comment In a comment, you can type your question or maybe the name of the episode that you would love to see from me, from Daniel, from other PMs. We are here to deliver the content about the functionalities that we are building for you. So remember to leave the comment, like button, and subscribe. Maybe just also share the video with your colleagues. Also, remember about the website ideas.fabricmicrosoft.com. If you have an idea how we should improve our product, our features within the product, let us know. We are reviewing that on a daily basis. So until the next time, happy exploring the Delta Lake features across all the engines. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Daniel.
Thank you.